Welcome back to Autism at Home, brought to you by us at Early Autism Project Malaysia through our non-profit initiative, The Hope Project. I'm Jochebed Isaacs, and it's so great to see you again. The previous lessons in this series have covered a basic introduction on the importance of functional communication, signs and gestures, picture exchange communication system, and this lesson is going to be all about communicating using devices. Now, in the introduction, we spoke about 3 types of alternative and augmentative communications, also known as AACs. And these 3 types of AACs include no-tech, low-tech, or high-tech. And obviously, communication apps are high-tech. There are certainly pros and cons to using any type of AAC. And in the area of using communication apps, we feel that there are more pros than cons. Of course, one big possible deterrent would be cost, as a family would need to have a device, be it Apple or Android, for their child to communicate. This could be an iPad or even an iPhone, and previously quite a few of our kiddos used iPods, which I believe are no longer in production. Additionally, some of the communication apps can be a bit expensive, and so that is another cost for families. Some of the most recommended apps range from USD $49.99 to USD $299. We at EAP actually use a free communication app called the Let Me Talk as a beginning step to introduce a child to communication using a device. Now, on the upside is the matter of convenience and efficiency. Our previous lesson was all about the picture exchange system, and while it has been very, very effective, it can be a little more tedious in terms of setup, as a parent or therapist will need to print the visuals out, laminate, cut them, and oftentimes we need extras because they get lost. Then you need to buy the Velcro and the book. Additionally, it can be a bit cumbersome to carry about, and certainly in comparison, a device is quite socially appropriate, as most people have a device, even kids have some, and teenagers as well. Now, some challenges with the device are for kiddos who are using it for videos or games, and parents often are concerned that they may become addicted to the screen time, and then how to differentiate the device for communication versus their leisure time. There are a few ways around this, for example, having 2 devices. So perhaps one is for communication and one is for activities. However, of course, this incurs more costs again. So the better way to work around this is to set limits on other apps. And essentially, we can teach our kiddos basic rules around the devices. Last but not least would be the concern about children who may present some aggressive behaviors, in particular throwing. And so we would definitely recommend child-proofing the device with bumper covers such as this one and heavy-duty screen protectors. And again, the usual rules will certainly apply, which can correspond with rewards and consequences. A simple example will be nice hands with the iPad, and a child that is able to demonstrate nice hands or gentle hands could then earn some video time or game time on the device. But if a child was aggressive with the iPad, then the device would be removed for a period of time. We will also need to teach our kiddos about charging and the internet, as that can be a point of high frustration when a device is out of battery or network coverage. All right, do you know that was actually just the introduction about using communication apps and using devices? Now, how do we teach a child to actually use the device and the app? Actually, very similar on how to teach a child to use PECs. So you can just click back to the previous lesson and watch that again, but this time, replace it with an iPad instead of a PECs book. What we do at EAP is we typically make a social story and a video model about how to use the device. As in the PECs program, we would have pre-selected a child's favorite item and then preset these pictures to be available within the app. Oh, of course, you're assuming you've already downloaded the app. Okay, let me start again. Firstly, choose a device. This may be the one you already have around your home, or you may choose to buy one. Remember to get the bumper covers and highly protective screen covers to prevent breakage. Then you choose the app you would like to use. Again, we at EAP just use a free app called Let Me Talk, as it suffices to teach the basics, and there isn't any additional initial investment should you change your mind or the strategy doesn't work for your child. You can download the app, you toggle with it, you can refer to some online YouTube clips as well on how to use the app. Then you identify your child's favorite items and either take real photos of that items, which makes it much more easier for your child to identify, or you could use the existing pictures that they actually have within the LMT gallery. We would encourage you to make that social story and a video model about how to use the app to communicate. Now, in terms of the actual practice, very similar to the PECS practice, you would have the items ready, the device ready with the app, and just one picture available. And then you would entice your child non-verbally with the item. Typically, that first reward is free, so you would present the item to your child and then foreshadow the end and take it back, and then try to entice your child again. Hopefully, he reaches for it or grabs it, and then you can prompt his hand quickly to press the icon, and then he has to press the play button. Again, similar to the PECS protocol, it would be better to have a second prompter, but we have definitely taught some of our kids by being the communicator and then just quickly prompting them as well, because it can be difficult to have two adults on standby. A couple of quick reminders would be that there's actually the step of selecting the picture and then pressing play. So we will need to teach our child to do both of that. Secondly, the way most of the apps work is that there are folders, just like in the PECS book. It then progresses to categorize pages of visuals. So initially, the adult will click the folder open, but eventually a child will learn to firstly discriminate 2 pictures, then 3, then 4, then 5, and the list goes on till they're able to discriminate folders as well. So separate to the PECS or communication device program, we actually need to teach our kiddos other prerequisite programs that will support the fluency of learning this. This includes strengthening fine motor skills, strengthening matching in order for a child to understand that the 2D picture is the same as the 3D item, the ability to recognize labels or pictures, as well as categories for a child to identify different categories: foods, toys, people, and places. So now it's your turn. Prepare the materials, the device, the app, the reinforcing items, make a social story and video model. Identify if there's any prerequisite skills that you really need to teach your child beforehand, be it strengthening fine motor skills, matching, or recognizing labels. We wouldn't worry too much about categories at the start, and then start practicing. So there you go, a very quick, brief introduction to using devices to communicate. We hope that this has been helpful, and as usual, do contact us if you need any additional support, and we will see you in the next lesson on visuals in the home. Thank you very much for your support. And with the amount of interest we have received online, we've actually started providing online services and have worked with clients in other states of Malaysia, as well as other countries such as New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, Switzerland, Indonesia, China, and Brunei. So do get in touch with us for more information by scanning this QR code. If you haven't already, do check out our online resource platform, Autism at Home, which has all the lesson videos, corresponding articles, and downloadables available for you for free. Stay updated through our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And do click on the subscribe and follow buttons to get more information. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you very soon.